Welcome back to Real Life Stories with Sheyi and
Bumi,
where we share stories to
inspire.
And today we would be inviting our friend Jolade, who is popularly known as Jojo, to come tell us some experiences she had at nursing school. Jolade, we're happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence here on our channel. You're officially our first guest, right? So, drum roll. So like Sister Sheyi said, Jojo will be telling us her story of nursing school. So I guess we'll first start by you introducing yourself, who is Jolade.
Okay. So my name is Jolade Ayeni. Let me use my married name now. Ayeni. But I'm popularly known as Jojo.
All right, so Jojo, so tell us, what was nursing school like for you?
Nursing school was a mixture of different feelings. So there were times whereby I was like, really excited. I'm gonna be a nurse and all that. And there was a time whereby, when the program started getting like really challenging, I'm like, girl, are you gonna be able to like make this program? So yeah, it was different kind of feelings depending on each stages I got to in nursing school.
So what were your triumphs? Like, I know you mentioned something to me personally before now about how you faced a lot of challenges and how you were able to overcome. So are you able to share with us some of those challenges and what kept you through those periods?
Like I said, nursing school was, I wouldn't sugarcoat it. Nursing school was like very hard. It was, let me say, like one of my first challenges in nursing school was the first time, like when I started taking like the first three courses at the beginning of the program, which is I think fundamentals, health assessment, and I think pathophysiology. I took those three courses together and it was so just to cut the long story short, I literally like failed two of those courses. And according to the rules in school, you can't fail two courses at the same time. They're gonna like kick you out of the program. So I got kicked out of the program at that point. It was like a point whereby a breaking period for me. I felt like maybe the floor should just open and then just swallow me in, because I was like, how would I come this far? Going through all the challenges in like taking the prerequisite courses and then getting into the program that I really want to do and having to like, get kicked out of the program. So, and the way they divided my course is like 8 weeks period. So I couldn't go back immediately because I was waiting. It was a waiting period whereby they have to like say yes to bring me back into the program for me to like continue. So it was like one of the longest 8 weeks period of my life. So I had to like write, because I'd studied so hard for those courses, and at the end of the day, this. So it was very, very challenging. I tell you, I feel like if I didn't have a very good support system from my parent, I didn't even have to like open my mouth to tell my mom that I'd failed, because any slight thing anybody asked me in the house, like, oh Jojo, what's going on, that kind of thing, I'm gonna flip. I just got so angry with everybody in the house. So my mom didn't even have to ask me. She was like, what's it feel, Abby? That's what she said. And I was like, yes.
Wow.
So she didn't get angry, but she was concerned, because she knows that my behavior changed. I wasn't smiling, I wasn't happy. I was just going about my business like nobody was even existing around me. So she had to call me and tell me like, okay, it's not, there was a time I cried and I was like, you know what, maybe I should just not do it anymore. Let me just go do something else, because I can't come this far and this is what I'll be getting, having to like study all night long, and I didn't get the result I wanted. So I remember there was a time I had to like sit down, and I remembered praying. Like I actually prayed to God. I fasted and I prayed. I said, God, if you know there's no way for me in this program I'm about to like venture into, then don't even let them say yes to the letter I'm going to write. It was a very hard prayer, because like you want something so bad, and at the same time you want to let it go, because you're like, is there even a way for you in all this? So, and you know, as God will have it, at the end of I think the 7th week, I went back and checked my email after turning in the letter of you know, just to give them reasons why they should take me back into the program. My GPA wasn't bad, it was good. So, and I had to like tell them, you know, like reasons why, you know, something like all these things could have happened to me. So I think at the 7th week of the 8th week, they sent me back a letter saying that they accepted me back into the program. So I was like really excited. I was like, okay, God, this is, yeah, maybe this is the right place for me to be. Because if you can answer my prayer and they accept me, because I know I've heard different stories whereby that's it for people. Once they kick them out, they don't accept them back into the program. So that was like, okay, I think this is a way for me. So that was like one of my first challenges. The second one was I think I was taking pediatrics, and let me say something first before I go into my story. Sometimes we get so confident about everything going on around us, and we ignore the things we're supposed to like really concentrate on. Nursing school to me, I'll say this, was a time whereby I felt like God was just showing me how merciful He can be, and His grace for me. Because when I just look back, I'm like, it's not me, it's just God's grace. The second challenge I had was I was taking pediatrics, and you know, I knew 100% that I was good in this class. I didn't even have to like do too much work. So I kind of relaxed, like, okay, I'm good. My grade was good, and I needed just a few points, and I'll be good in the class to like pass the class. But I didn't study so hard at the exit exam. So yeah, and behold, I failed that class. And I'll tell you, my score was like 80 something.
What's the cutoff?
With the exams we're taking at that time. The cutoff mark was supposed to be 75. So I needed, I think, for the exit exam, I needed about like 40, maybe like 50% in that score. But I didn't make that cutoff. I think I missed it with just tiny points. And I remember I had to like, because I was so desperate. So I went to meet the teacher. I was like, what do I do? Because it's just few points. And she was like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. They don't round up in nursing school. I don't know of any other school, but my own school, they don't round up. Even if it's like 9.8 or 9.9, they won't round it up. So I failed. And I remember I was going home inside the bus that day, and I was thinking in my head. And I said, God, just give me the strength to handle this, because I don't know what is going to come out of this. Because remember, I said I failed the first time, and now the second time. I couldn't even tell my parents, because they're going to cut off my head. So I didn't say anything, but I just confided in my sisters, and I just kept praying. But I tell you, that 8 weeks, I was at home. I remember my mom asked me, I was schooling, and I couldn't tell her, because what would I say? That I failed again? So I just found something to tell her. I'm sorry, I lied, but I had to find something to tell her. So I went on, wrote another petition. I called one of my instructors and I said, what will you do if you're in this situation? You want something so bad. This is the second time I'm failing, and I'm getting kicked out of school. What will you do in that situation? And the man was like, if you want it so bad, go ahead and do anything as much as possible to get it back. And I was like, okay. And it was like, you know, they check a lot of things to bring people back into the program. So once he said, I'm part of the board, part of the people on the board. So we're looking at different things to bring people back into the program. And I was like, okay. So I went ahead and wrote my letter and sent it to them. But once again, I fell on my knees and I prayed to God again. I said, God, I know I was very, very ignorant. I said, I know I was very carefree about this because it could have been a smooth ride throughout this course. But I felt so confident, like, okay, I got this. Forgetting that, it's not your will, it's not your own power.
Yeah.
So, and I told God, I said, okay, I'm just going to leave it in your hands. I remember my younger sister writing a note to me because it was myself and her sharing the same room. So she knows what I was going through. So I remember she was leaving home to the boarding school that day. To college. And she wrote me a Bible passage saying that, okay, I can't really remember the quote went, but I know she said the Bible passage was, when you're praying about something, believe that it's done already so you can, get your answer. I'm just like summarizing it. So immediately she said that, I was like, okay, I'm good. I've prayed about it and this is gonna work for me. And I remember saying that, okay, I'll give my testimony ahead of time in church in preparation that, okay, God has done it already. But I didn't have that confidence to like even step out and give that testimony that week. But I said, God, if you want me to give this testimony, let there be another time to share testimony in church. And the following Sunday I went to church and I remember the Spirit saying that, Shabi said, if there's another opportunity, you get up and share this testimony in advance of, what you're waiting for. So, like, slightly, I just raised up my hand. Shy, I didn't want to do it. But the pastor saw my hand as low as it was. And he was like, oh, my daughter, come and share your testimony. So I got up. And I was like, oh. And he has not done it already. He has not done it yet, though. But I know he will do it. And everybody in the church chorused and said, he has done it already.
Amen.
And I was like, I'm waiting for a reply for something. And I'm believing that God has done it already. And everybody was like, he has done it already. So I went back and sat down. And I tell you, this was a Sunday. The Monday, I just opened my email. And lo and behold, they already accepted me back into the program.
Wow.
I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus. Because I was tired of sitting at home. I couldn't tell my parents. They were asking questions. I had to like start telling them different things just to like, cover up the whole thing. And that's how I got back into the nursing program. And I went back to church. And everybody said, even before I even stood in front of everybody, I was just walking from the congregation and everybody was like, oh, he has done it already. And I was like, hallelujah, and I went back to sit down. So, I mean, things like that happen. And I tell people, nursing school is not about how smart you are. Because I've seen a lot of smart people that they didn't even finish the program. It's really hard. I won't lie. It takes a lot of determination. A lot of people will be like, Jojo, you're too spiritual about a lot of stuff. But that's what worked for me. And that's what I believe in. That, okay, if you leave everything to God's hand, everything will be fine. And yes, everything was fine because, like I said, it is grace, it is mercy. Because there are a lot of people, 2 times, some people don't have that grace. Even 1 time, they won't even get called back into the program. But mine, twice, and I got called back into the program. So yeah, that's some of my challenges. It's a lot more, but that's the 2 that I really like, outstanding for me.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That was so inspiring. So do you think the challenges you had was as a result of the fact that you were not a science student when you were in high school?
Some of the challenges, yes. Because getting to nursing school, after taking all those science courses and everything like that, which was very new to me. So, it took some time to like adjust to the whole process. Then getting to nursing school again and being in a class with people that have had like a lot of experience. Some of them were LPNs, some of them were already working in the health field. It looked at sometimes the teacher was even speaking French because I couldn't understand some things like she was saying because like I'm still fairly new into like the system. So I want to say yes, maybe a little bit at the beginning of the course, like, but it got better.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you finished nursing school
Yes.
successfully,
Yes.
and now you are a nurse.
Yes.
What do you have to tell the people out there who are currently facing some challenges in nursing school at the moment, or people who are looking at going into nursing school even though they probably had a plan to study law or mass communication, or people that were in art class? I think you had your high school in Nigeria, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so and some bankers get to they get to places like the United States, the UK, and decide to change their field into the nursing field. What do you have to say to them? And yeah, I think.
Okay, so I'll say it's doable. It might be challenging, even to everybody. It is challenging, but is it something they can do? Yes, it is something they can do. But like I said earlier, it's not all about being smart. Yeah, smartness, yes, might take you to some extent, but I feel like determination is very, very keen in nursing school, because there are sometimes like you face difficulties. You're at that point of, okay, can I even do this? Do I even want to do it? I feel like your determination, like, okay, I can do this, I really want this so bad, would push you through like those challenging period whereby, okay, you'll be able to like pick yourself up. And another advice I want to give to like people that are trying to like get into nursing school, are thinking about it, is don't look at the pace at which your colleagues are going, because we know ourselves better than the advisor or the teachers or everything, because every school has their own curriculum. They have like schedules they've already set for people to like finish the program, but it is left to the person to know his ability. Don't take like 3 courses when you know you can only handle 1. Because most people will think like, oh, if I take 3, I'll graduate very quickly. But what's the essence of you rushing everything and ending up like failing the 3 you're taking, when you can only take 1 and then finish through that one and then take it? So don't look at other people's time to like do what you need to do. Take it at your own pace, not other people's pace. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So I was gonna ask Jojo, how would you say like mental health is very important, especially when you're in school? So how would you say overall your mental health was, and what were the things that actually helped you to cope mentally? Because I know you mentioned like you had that family support system, right? So just describe what your mental health was, what helped you, and what will you tell other nursing students who are going through some form of challenge or the other mentally while in nursing school?
Thank you very much for that question. Like I said one thing at the beginning when I was sharing my thoughts, like one of my challenges. I was like, it felt as if the floor to open and then swallow me. It was at that point whereby I feel like there are some things you go through, or someone will go through in nursing school, that you feel like that can lead the person to depression. What do you want to say about like getting kicked out when you have just 1 more class to take in nursing school? So yes, like having a very good support system is like very, very important. Yes, believe in God, do your part, and also leave Him to do His own part. Also, I mean, pray as much as you can pray. Talk to people that have been through the program, so that they can help you, like, help help the person, like, support the person in terms of maybe academics, or talk to the person and encourage the person, like, mentally. Like you said, depression is really, really real. So I feel like nursing school can lead someone to depression if the person is not careful. So yeah, like, very, very strong support system is very, very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I think what I'll just say to everyone that is watching is, like Jojo said, find a support system, speak out. Most schools have like a support service department. Please use this service. If you do not have any spiritual connection or anything, please use those services. There's also the suicidal hotline that you can also use. I will put that in this description box for you to use as support, just to speak to someone, because we know depression is real, anxiety is real, and importantly, suicide is real. So do you want to say any final words to anyone, just like a short phrase, just to encourage any nursing students? Anastasia, do you have any last words?
Okay, the only thing, like I said, is just if you know that you really want it, just, go for it. It's doable. It just takes a lot of determination. It takes a lot of hard work also to go through it. But don't be discouraged by how hard it is. Work on your own pace. Don't work on with other people's pace, because you only know yourself, and you know the reason why you want to do this. It could be like financial reasons. It could be because you want to better yourself. So just, if it means anything to you, you can always write, have a sticky notes, put your goals in front of you, and maybe every morning just read through it, just to remind yourself about the reason why you really, really want to do it. And I feel like that will keep, you going. But, don't just be discouraged about how hard the program or what people have said. As long as you want it and you're interested in it, then just go for it.
So I would say, if you are at the verge of giving up in nursing school, I would say it's not over yet. Don't give up. Keep moving.
Thank you so much, Jojo. Your story was so inspiring, and I hope that everything that you shared encourages you to keep going at it, like Sister Shei has rightly mentioned. And we hope all the best for your nursing program. And lastly, Jojo, where are you now? Are you an RN? Where do you
I did BSN. I'm actually a BSN nurse.
Okay.
Thinking about going for NP, but not yet. But still thinking about it. Yes.
Awesome. And are you practicing, are you in gynae or are you in?
So I've done psych, and that's my main specialty right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hoping to move into other areas of nursing, but yeah, psych is in my specialty right now.
Thank you so much, Jojo, for sharing your story with Sister Shei, and I wish you all the best in all your endeavors, in your nursing career. Sister Shei, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Jojo, for joining us today, and I hope to see you again. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and please like and subscribe to our channel, and we hope to see you next time. And get ready to be inspired. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.